Well, hello there. Welcome to Lead with Soul, the channel for women leaders who are done overcomplicating leadership, success. We are done playing small. Today, my guest is Dr. Jessica Emery, and I want to jump in and just share all of her awesomeness. I've known her for a long, long time, and we were just chatting. We've been on parallel paths
hmm
for what seems like forever. Is still a dentist, but you don't practice anymore. So, without further ado and wasting too much time, welcome, Jessica. How
Thank
are
you.
you?
Oh, I was so excited to be here that we're just like finally making this happen. Yay.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for doing this. So, before we get into, chatting about everything that we are always meandering our way through, for those that might not know you, why don't you share a little bit about who you are, your journey, where you were and where you're now and where you're headed?
Oh my goodness. Well, that is a loaded question. How do I make this tight?
Do
So,
not share all the magic. Yeah.
oh my goodness. Well, I was practicing dentistry. That's when we met. I had a fee-for-service cosmetic dental practice that I started from scratch. 100% collection, so proud of that. Really did that through my branding and marketing, which led me to build Dental Soiree, which is really where we met for a photo shoot, like in person. We had so much fun on that shoot. But fast forward, I was loving dentistry, loved what I was doing. And I had really created a practice by design. I was working under 24 hours a week. I was doing very well. I had time, spacious time to build another business that I was running. And fast forward to quarantine. During quarantine, I was like a crazy mad woman, as we are, doing all of the things. Like, okay, instead of resting and relaxing, I was like, let's create all of the things because dentists are online. And this way I can teach them about branding and marketing because that is such a big passion of mine. And during that time, I had a quarantine dream. We call it the quarantine dream, in which I had a dream about Charleston. And I was living in Chicago at the time. I had my Sugar Fix Dental Loft, my practice. I had Dental Soiree, another brick and mortar space, Dental Soiree, my digital media agency. And then I had White Hot, my teeth whitening bar. So three brick and mortar spaces. And I had a dream about Charleston. Usually you have a dream, vivid dream, and it goes away. Well, the next night I dreamed it again. I was on King Street here. I've never been to Charleston ever. And I said to my husband, "Hey, this is so strange. Usually you dream and it goes away." I dreamed it again, and he said, "Jess, please pick up my iPad that was lying on the floor." Picked it up. He had been looking at golf places here. I said, "That's three. We need to get on a plane and go see what this is about." And the rest is just history. It was a domino effect of yeses. We got on the plane. We came down the only spot that was available on King Street. I assumed immediately when I got out and I saw the magic of 177 King that was in front of me, I felt the energy of the building and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, well, we're here to open another White Hot," right? I thought, sure, we'll have one in Chicago, one in Charleston. Took a
Right.
selfie of myself in the doorway and put it on Instagram. And I said, "White Hot do." And immediately within 5 minutes got pinged from Dr. Brittany Dickinson. She ended up purchasing my practice, but she said, "Oh my gosh, are you relocating? Sugar Fix is my dream." And I said, "No." Very quickly, I said, "No, I'm not planning on
That's my
relocating."
baby.
Right, absolutely. And she said, "Well, would you meet me for coffee? I took one of your courses over, quarantine. I'd love to meet you. We're similar." And so when we got back, I said, "Absolutely, I would love to meet you." When she came to Sugar Fix, and first of all, when we were in Charleston, just to back it up, it was like we lived here. We were on someone's boat. It was literally like I lived here. Everything felt it was just this domino of yes effect. We got back. Brittany came through my front doors, and I knew in every cell of my body, from my head to my toes, that she was supposed to carry on the legacy of Sugar Fix, and I was supposed to relocate. Now, this is someone that had never even entertained the thought, but I am someone that goes with listens. Like, my intuition is I'm very connected to that. And I went home and said to my husband, and thank goodness I have a wonderful husband and soulmate as well, that I just said, "Hey, like, wouldn't this be fun? Like, why don't we just throw the house on the market and see what happens?" And we did. And the first person that walked into the foyer said cash 30-day, you know, in the foyer. I didn't even see the house. It was like full ass 30-day close on the 8th. I have one tattoo on my back, like that's an 8. Like that's my number.
Yeah.
And once again, it was like everything was in play. So literally 3 months, because I was fee for service, zero AR. It was the easiest, quickest transition, which was good for my heart, actually. I quantum leaped into my next life. And I documented it, the whole story, the two of us talking through how we felt and our emotions and all of that. My family moved down. I've got 3 children. They moved down to Island of Palms. I stayed back. How in the world I got an apartment literally across from my practice that I watched the lake, the sun come up every morning. It was the most beautiful view. How did I get an apartment for 3 months? I don't even know now when I look back how everything unfolded. But it was Christmas Eve that I drove down here. So it was a 3-month transition. And I never looked back. And my world opened up. Ironically, that building on King Street, I ended up meeting the owner, which you never meet the owners here. You have to go through real estate companies and things like in the South. Like I don't know how I met Phyllis, but she basically, now this is on King Street, like near Louis Vuitton. Like this is high end King Street. Somehow I meet her and she says, I've got 2 sons. They're taken care of. I've got all the money in the world. I want you to have it. Tell me whatever you can do. Don't worry about it. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like what in the world? And all this magic was happening all around me. But at that time, again, intuitively, there was an opening for me in dentistry where I was being asked to speak on stages. I was being asked to mentor people. And so I said, I'm being called, right? So I stepped into that and I put aside 177 King, even though that was such a gift and an opportunity, it wasn't the time or the place for it. And I allowed my life to lead, and it has been the most beautiful unfolding in the entire world. And I know you, like me, want people to just understand like what is available. I've seen my children more in the past 4 years than I've seen in their lives. The conversations, just everything is just so, so incredibly beautiful. And I'm so incredibly grateful. And we all have the gift. It's right. It's like tuning in and trusting and moving with the impulse of where we're being called next, because I do believe we're always being guided to what that next thing is. Leading with our soul.
There we go. Yes, on point there. And I love that you said that because women that are the type A, the leaders, the go-getters, the doers, believe it or not, I mean, of course, you know this,
Mhm.
but we struggle with imposter syndrome the most, right? Who am I to step on that stage? Who am I to follow my heart, my dream? um, Sell a very successful practice and just move to Charleston where I don't know anybody. And I don't even know if my kids are going to like it there. But a lot of times just listening to your heart, your gut, just following the divine breadcrumbs that
Yes.
get dropped on our path it's insane what that does. It's
Mhm.
the same thing that's happening with Lead with Soul. Imposter syndrome is super, super real, is it not?
Yes.
Just like you,
Here.
you had your, I mean, it's not that it's gone, but your identity of who you were as that super successful cosmetic dentist in Chicago. And
Mhm.
here I am, sleep dentist, speaker,
Yes.
coach, mentor, and what am I even doing with
Author.
Lead with Soul? Author? Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
And it's when the calling is there, you
Yes.
just follow the path, you listen to your path, and you just get on it. But have you ever struggled with imposter syndrome when you got on this journey, or what did you do to overcome it?
I wanted to say as well, when you just spoke to that, that when intuition knocks, which it's always knocking, if we do not listen to it, it will